So then he's like, I don't even own a train. And even if I did, it wouldn't be a gravy one. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. My name is Miriam Compton Ferris Ulyanov IV. Nah, just kidding. I'm Imai. You may recognize me from such educational films as Potatoes, A History of Mispronunciation Through Interpretive Dance, and Love Handles Is All You Need, Portly Gentlemen of the 17th Century. I'm here to talk to you about a psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias concerns the way people tend to think and can be considered a hindrance in information processing insofar as it limits our ability to come to appropriate conclusions regarding what we perceive around us. It can also be said to become particularly problematic in a social context. Thus, as implicated by its social applications and its cognitive origins, confirmation bias remains relevant to the field of study known as social cognition. But before we get into that, oh man, commercial? Try Mickey Jim's old Eastbound chicken slurry, now with extra vitamin R? Jeez. Anyway, on to business. I'm going to explain confirmation bias using an example. Here, this is Arlie, a self-conscious girl from Birmingham. She's your average teenage dullard. Has a little chihuahua named Carlos that has some sort of skin disease and is totally blind. Good with kids. Anyway, her best friend is a girl named Karma. Absent smile but big heart. Let's say one day they're hanging out and Arlie says,
Karma Kimeli, because she is smelly, she watches the telly and has a fat belly.
What the crap was that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I originally wrote it as Thatcher Kameli, but I thought I should stop being so politically bitter.
Then Karma says,
well, that's a bit dumb and mean, don't you think?
At this point, Arlie begins to think that Karma may be a supporter of Thatcher, Arlie's least favorite British Prime Minister. The truth is there is not enough evidence for her to rationally conclude this to be the case. As a matter of fact, Karma was implying she was offended at the initial comment against herself, not Thatcher. Assuming Arlie's mistaken belief has risen, confirmation bias has it that our mind will process information from further interactions with Karma in a way that grants greater importance on information that confirms her belief, even though it is mistaken. Let's say Karma and Arlie are hanging out again, and Karma says,
Hey, I've been reading a lot on South American history during the Cold War recently. Very interesting history there, but it sucks the people there had to deal with so many frickin' dictators. Many dumb decisions made without consent. Like the one Argentinian dictator who started a war with Britain for no good reason. This guy obviously never played Risk when he was a kid.
Arlie hears this, and her first conclusion is to assume that this is further evidence of Karma's support for Thatcher. In Britain, Thatcher was a politician whose career was bolstered in defeating the Argentinian army in the aforementioned Falklands War. So Arlie assumes that if Karma is against the political leadership in Argentina at the time, just as Thatcher and her followers were, therefore there is evidence that Karma is keen on Thatcher.
Okay,
says Arlie. Then one day comes the realization. Arlie meets up with Karma and she sees her smiling. Arlie asks why she's so happy. Karma begins to talk, saying,
I ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. I've got good news, Arlie. Maggie Thatcher died yesterday.
At which point Arlie is baffled. She was wrong all along. Woe is Arlie, she was wrong. She was real wrong all along. And woe is her because it cannot be said that no one was hurt. The truth is Arlie's thoughts manifested themselves into the social sphere. When they were at a restaurant a few days back, Karma asked Arlie to borrow $7.50 with which to buy some buffalo chicken tenders. With anxiety and animosity roaming in Arlie's mind, she said no, while in every other circumstance she would have gladly lent her the money. This highlights the importance of being self-conscious in a different sense, in questioning the origins of our thoughts and consequent beliefs because they have power to show up on the social sphere. Science and experimentation is really the main tool we have to improve outcomes such as the one highlighted here, because the thing is, knowing that the effect exists, as many philosophers prior to social cognition knew, is not enough. We need to know the reasons why if we are to prevent it. Research early on assumed that confirmation bias prevailed because we want to confirm our beliefs, but attention has now been turned to our assumption that testing to confirm our beliefs is somehow better than testing to find exceptions to them. An entirely unscientific presumption that can lead us astray, really, thus highlighting further the need to incorporate the scientific mindset in our cognitive and social experience. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't do drugs, kids, because it's f***ing dumb. I actually wasn't paid to say that one. It's just worth saying. Cheers.